Have a look at this one. It says there are 5 dustbins along a circular path at a distance at a different place. And Ramesh takes multiple rounds of this path every morning, always with the same speed. He notices that it took him a different number of steps every time he walks between the 2 consecutive dustbins. Ramesh also noticed that starting from any dustbin, it took a minimum of 800 steps to reach the second dustbin and 1260 as the maximum number of steps that he has to take to reach the third dustbin. All right, so let's try and visualize this. Let's say there are 5 dustbins that have been placed at a different distances all along this circular track. So let's say this distance is A, B, C, D, E, distance in terms of the number of steps that we are looking at. Right now, let's say I start from the point A and move to the second dustbin, then what is the distance, what is the number of steps that I'm going to cover? A plus B. This value must be greater than or equals to 800. Correct? Now go from the next point, which is this point, to this point. What will it be? It will be B plus C must be greater than or equals to 800. All of this, if you continue to write, A plus B is greater than 800, B plus C greater than 100, C plus D must be greater than or equals to 800, D plus E must be greater than or equals to 800, and E plus A must be greater than or equals to 800. Now you can add all of these inequalities and you will realize it is 2 times of A plus B plus C plus D plus E should be greater than or equals to 800 into 5, which is 4000. So now what is the number of steps, total number of steps that must be greater than or equals to 2000. Similarly, between any 3 steps, if you are looking at, so let's say I start from this and from this point I want to reach the third dustbin, what all steps will I have to take? I'll have to take A plus B plus C, and this should be less than or equals to 1260. That's what is given to you. Then what is the next one? I have to move from here. I will have to take B, C and D, right? So I'm going to take B plus C plus D. That should be less than or equals to 1260. Similarly, I will have to start from the next one, which is C plus D plus E. That gets me less than or equals to 1260. Then what am I going to do? I'm going to do D plus E plus A. That's going to be less than or equals to 1260. And then E plus A plus B. That turns out to be less than or equals to 1260. Now, if you go further, it will turn out to be again A plus B plus C. Now, if you add all of this, you will realize it is every value is actually coming 3 times. So you are going to write this as 3 times of A plus B plus C plus D plus E is going to be equals to less than or equals to 1260 into 5. Now 1260 is divisible by 3. So it is going to be 3 4s are 12, 420, 420 into 5, which is less than. So A plus B plus C plus D plus E must be less than or equals to 420 into 5, which turns out to be 2100. So the total number of steps across this circumference should be 2000 to 2100. That's something that we know. And every step is of 0.77 meter. That's what also the question is talking about. So what will be the total length? Every step is 0.77 meter. So the circumference, which is, let's say, a 2 pi r, that should lie between 2100 into 77, 0.77 should be less than 2000 into 0.77 and should be less than 2100 into 0.77. Now 2 pi r, 2 into pi will turn out to be 44 by 7. So let me divide the entire thing by 44 by 7 and rewrite this entire calculation as 20 into 77. And this has to be divided by 44 by 7. So if I divide this by 44 by 7, 7 goes in the numerator and 44 comes in the denominator, radius. And the next one should turn out to be 2100 into 0.77, which is 21 into 77 into 7 by 44 into 7 by 44. Now this is the calculation that we have to perform. So 11 7s are 77, 11 4s are 44, 4 into 5. So 49 into 5 is what we are looking at over here. That should be less than or equals to the radius, which is 21 into 77 into 7 by 44. Correct? This is the calculation that we are performing. 11 into 7, 11 into 4, 49 into 21 by 4 is what we are looking at, right? So if we end up calculating this, then 49 into 20 would turn out to be equals to 980. 980 plus another 49. So 1029 divided by 4 is what we are looking at. 1029 divided by 4, that is 257.25. 257.25. This is what we are going to get. So 49 into 5 will turn out to be what? 9 5s are 40, 5 4s are 20, 240. So the radius should be greater than 240 and less than 257.25. Now which number lies in this range? Of course 240 is not the answer, 220 is not the answer, 230 is not the answer, and 260 also goes beyond option A. 250 meters turns out to be the answer for this question.